Well, Mr. Funny Man, is this how you get your sick kicks?
What? It's just an ordinary crabby... Oh my goodness! Squidward!
There is a new Shrek movie coming out, and wow, does that make me nostalgic. It's really hard to think that 2 of the Shrek movies are now over 20 years old. And I kind of remember back in the day watching Shrek 2 and Shrek 1 on this on this little car trip to Florida, but the fact that there's going to be another one after all these years, it's quite incredible. And in a way, I can't wait for it. I love seeing the Shrek movies, or at least the first 2. I mean, the 4th one was okay. We don't talk about the 3rd one, but the 4th one was okay. And I'm pretty sure that this one is probably going to be just as good, if they can really go and put their minds to it. I just wonder what it's going to look like, what the characters are going to look like, what the world's going to look like, what is everything going to look like after all these years. I'm sure everyone's reaction is going to be...
Ah! Ew, Dad!
Ooh, Mommy like. Who's making this stuff?
Not me!
Whoa!
Yeah, that's pretty much the internet for you.
But before I begin, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and make sure that notifications are on as well.
But, yeah, people do like Shrek. And it's really not hard to go and see why. At the time when the films first came out, there was really nothing like it. When it came to animation, all you really had was Disney. Disney and Pixar, even though Pixar is Disney, but you get the grip. But Disney movies, well, they were always nice to watch, they were always well animated, they were fun. You always knew what to expect. You knew you weren't going to get anything just really too gory or anything, or nothing really too just impactful. I guess that would be the word. Just nothing really too adult. There would be some adult jokes in there, in their movies, just a few of them, but pretty much nothing that is just going to go and surprise you. But then Shrek came along and pretty much just went and changed all that. And just to go and see even some of the jokes today, a lot of them still do work. I mean, I guess it's possible that some of the parts of the movie you can go and watch, and it can be like, oh yeah, that was a thing back then. But for the most part, the movies are pretty good. If I had to go and give my quick little opinion on all the movies, the first one, really good. Like I said, it changed everything. Just kind of your typical Save the Princess story, but with a little bit of a twist to it. Instead of the knight in shining armor, you have an ogre. Instead of a horse, you have the donkey. And instead of this big intimidating bad guy, you have Lord Farquaad. And I do like it for what it is. A lot of the scenes I still do remember, like the little scene where they go to town, that little song plays on the little miniature guys. And I also kind of like that, I'm forgetting his name. The little guy in the black suit who works for Farquaad. I think he only appeared in that movie, though, which is sad since I liked him, but I thought he was funny. Then you have the Shrek 2. What can I say? It takes everything good about Shrek and makes it even better. The story's better, the characters are better, the jokes are funnier, the story is just more incredible. It does everything Shrek did great and just puts it up there. Even the villain is a lot better. I mean, Prince Charming, yeah, he's okay, but the fairy godmother is one of my favorite DreamWorks villains. That scene where she sings the song and all the heroes are come and go and rescue them, that scene still goes and gets me excited. I'm just like, pretty much every time I watch it, it gets me pumped up. Shrek 3, Shrek 3, it's not the worst or anything, but definitely a downgrade. I barely even remember it at this point. I think, what was it, Shrek, I think, went to go and get that King Arthur kid so he can be the king. And then they had the same villain again with Prince Charming. It's just, yeah, they could have done better. It had some funny jokes in there, but still not as good. Then Shrek 4, it was a little bit better. Not too much better. There's not too much I remember of it, but I remember the jokes being funnier, and I just remember getting to the story a little bit more. And for what it was, I thought it could have been a good final. And I always thought, well, they could add to it if they really wanted to, but if they didn't, it did go off on a better note than Shrek 3 did. But around that time, I've kind of thought that maybe there was just an oversaturation of Shrek movies. We had about 4 movies in less than 9 years, or 10 years. And when you just go and see like that, it's just, why did they have to go and release that many in that short amount of time? When it came to the Toy Story movies, you had, I think, 3 in 11 years. And that was always kind of a problem with DreamWorks. They always had to go and release all these sequels in a short amount of time, and for a while I think they often did about 3 movies a year, which was just often way too much. And it sometimes did show with movies like Shark Tale and Boss Baby. But eventually they did get better, and they kind of went and did their own thing at one point. They no longer went and just ripped on Disney or just did Bart jokes or anything like that. They did their own thing, and I'm happy to go and see that they eventually did that. Since just, I don't know if they really would have gone far if they just did the same thing over and over for years, but seeing what they did eventually become, it is a little bit better. But with that said, we have the new Shrek teaser, and people, it's getting them talking. It is getting some interest. I've seen a lot of people go on and talk about that it's actually AI, just because the characters just, they look different. They look different. And it's weird to go and say how they're different. They're more cartoony, I guess I would say. They look maybe more like Disney characters. It's kind of weird to say. I don't really have the words to describe it. I think I know what it is in the back of my mind, but I just can't think of it. And at first glance, they probably do look kind of AI. I don't think they are. Probably definitely not, but it's gonna take some time getting used to this art style. And I do get it. I get it. The 4th movie came out 15 years ago, and they're going to have to make new models for it. The computers have changed, technology has gotten better. I get it. They need to go and improve the models. I understand that, but you still think they could have kept at least the art style close enough to where the character models would be close enough, but improve difference, but still. It's just that people hate change. People don't like it when things change. And this is also true when it comes to movies. And people just, they don't like it when a movie's art style or just what it's about or anything like that just goes and changes just like that. And I kind of remember, this has happened before, even with small things. I remember back when Toy Story 4 came out, people did not like the way Andy looked. He had this new design to him that looked almost completely different, and a lot of people did not like it. And he only appeared for about, 10 seconds? 10 seconds That was my remote. He only appeared for about 10 seconds at the beginning of the movie. But these characters are going to appear throughout the whole movie. And you gotta go and get used to it. There have been plenty of times where I've seen art styles change. One notable one was for American Dragon Jake Long. And I think some people are kind of divided on that. I'm on more of the camp that I like the first season art style more. I can see some of the changes though. Like, for example, I can see why they made Jake a skinnier dragon in there, since he's still young, he's still training. And it would make sense for him to be muscular when he's older. That I do understand, but for the most part, I didn't really like the flatter art style or anything like that, but people are also going and comparing this to Ugly Sonic. And if you remember that, it was when the original Sonic the Hedgehog trailer came out a few years ago, he had that weird human design with those human teeth, and it was just, oh God, get it away. It was terrible to look at, and they went and delayed the movie to go and change it, and there was actually this little theory that it was actually a publicity stunt, that the movie was actually already done with the real Sonic in there, and that the little fake Sonic was only made for the trailer, since they knew that this would get so much attention from fans that when they went and delayed it, the movie would go and get a bunch of money when they did change it to the accurate design. So it was kind of like a New Coke thing, when some people think that when New Coke came out, they did it on purpose, so when they went back to the original formula, it would go up in sales, but Coca-Cola actually declined that, saying, oh, we're not that smart, we're not that stupid. It's probably not anything like that either. It's probably going to be like this throughout the whole movie, but a lot of people have also kind of gone and looked at the Puss in Boots art styles. You have the original Puss in Boots art style with the original movie, and then the one with the original movie. But I think the reason it works for that is because Puss in Boots is supposed to be its own movie, and giving it its own art style makes it more unique, makes it its own thing, so it's not a Shrek movie. It's a Puss in Boots movie. So I think that's why that new art style did work for that, and why this art style is not working for Shrek, at least so far. But, you know, we don't know too much about the movie. It's not getting released until 2026, late 2026, so almost 2 years. We don't know anything about the plot yet. We do know at least one of the daughters is appearing. We don't even know if the other kids are. But other than that, we don't really know that much about it. And Puss in Boots wasn't shown in the trailer either. Maybe that was not to draw confusion from the recent movie, but really the best I can think of just off the top of my head would be maybe Shrek's kids don't want to stay at the swamp, even though he wants his kids to stay at the swamp, since it's his family maybe has been there for generations and he doesn't want them to go. Something like that? I don't know. It should be interesting to see where it goes, though. I am interested in it, and I kind of wonder whether people will go and see this movie or not, because not just because of the art style, but because if people really care that much about Shrek anymore. There are a lot of fans who do love it, but is it really as big as it was back in the 2000s? There might be some people who are just in it more for the memes rather than the plot itself, like that weird meme with Shadow the Hedgehog and Shrek. Whatever the plot might be, I am interested in it, and I will like to go and see where it goes. If it looks interesting, maybe I'll go and see it, and if it's not, I'll probably just go and skip out on it. For the most part, actually, I'm more looking forward to Ants 2. I'm wondering why they never made that movie. It's Ants 2. We're probably closer to getting A Bug's Life 2, actually, but still, I mean, I think Ant needs at least a little a love, despite the big controversy there is with it in A Bug's Life. But wherever the new Shrek movie goes, I would like to go and see more of it. But whatever that might be, we're not going to find out for 2 years, and who knows? Maybe this new art style will work out for it, and down the line we'll just look like a bunch of idiots, kind of like how we did for the Mario movie, when we all freaked out about that, but it actually turned out being pretty good. Especially since it was made by Illumination, and Illumination is pretty much the bare mediocre when it comes to animated movies. And DreamWorks is better than they are, so if they can make the Mario movie, if Illumination can make the Mario movie, I do think there is a chance that DreamWorks can go and make another Shrek movie. But what do you think? Do you think it's all crazy looking? Do you think these characters look just absolutely stupid? Or do you think people are overreacting to it and just go and say it's a kids movie? Who cares? Comment down below on what you think. And if you like this video, subscribe, like, and I'll have more content like this. So take care, and I hope you have a great day.